Welcome to Kamjiverse. This is your exclusive bridge between the legacy of classical Africa and the triumphs of modern African revolutions. You won't find this connection anywhere else. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Share this video with friends and family. Become a channel member or join our Patreon. The links are waiting in the description. Let's honor our sacred legacy and ignite our future together.
What about the Africans from Africa? Are they going to get any reparation too, or are they part of the movement?
Explain the last part of it. Or are they a part of the movement?
African from Africa, like the Senegalese we see in Horn 5th Street, etc. Are they part of the movement? Are they part of what's happening? Are they going to get
all
some
of the
kind of
black world, Africans everywhere, deserve and must have reparations, but the white man may not give any of us reparations. We may have to take what belongs to us. You sit around forever in inactivity waiting for some reparations. You may have to take it. Everybody else has received reparations. It should be clear to you that the white man does not have those good intentions.
The death of reparations and the dawn of sovereignty. The moral argument for black reparations in the United States is unassailable. Yet its legal pursuit has collapsed under the weight of judicial inertia and political evasion. For over a century, efforts to hold the U.S. accountable for its foundational crimes, the trafficking and enslavement of millions of Africans, have faltered, as seen in failed lawsuits like Farmer Palman v. U.S. and legislative stagnation such as John Conyers' H.R. 40. Meanwhile, in West Africa, the alliance of Sahelian states comprising Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, led by transformative figures like Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traoré, is charting a path of radical sovereignty. By expelling foreign military forces, nationalizing key resources, and forging a mutual defense pact, the alliance of Sahelian states embodies a living restitution that transcends courtroom appeals. This essay contends that, while reparations for Black Americans remain moral imperatives, the only viable solution to centuries of dispossession is geopolitical sovereignty as exemplified by the alliance of Sahelian states. The legal impossibility of reparations in the U.S. The original sin of the United States lies not only in slavery itself but in the post-1808 illegal trafficking of Africans, a crime actively concealed by federal complicity and judicial sophistry. Although the act prohibiting importation of slaves took effect on January 1, 1808, Presidents Jefferson and Madison acknowledged that smugglers continued to bring nearly 1 million Africans into the country until 1860. This clandestine trade stripped these individuals, sovereign citizens of African nations, of all rights through a combination of legal rulings and congressional apathy. Gibbons v. Ogden, 1824, affirmed federal authority over interstate commerce, but conspicuously ignored human trafficking, allowing states and private actors to profit from slave labor. Worcester v. Georgia, 1832, recognized Native American tribes as distinct, independent political communities, yet offered no parallel protection to trafficked Africans who were deprived of their sovereign status. United States v. the Amistad, 1841, briefly affirmed the freedom of mended captives under international law, but was never extended to the broader population of illegally trafficked Africans. Dred Scott v. Sanford, 1857, codified the racial subjugation of black people, declaring that they had no rights, which the white man was bound to respect, effectively erasing any legal foundation for reparations claims. In Re African American Slave Descendants Litigation 2006, Judge Richard Posner dismissed reparations suits on grounds of statutes of limitations and evidentiary gaps, demonstrating the futility of litigating centuries-old injustices in U.S. courts. These precedents collectively illustrate a system structurally incapable of delivering redress. The U.S. judiciary's refusal to equate the trafficking of Africans with crimes against sovereign nations contrasts starkly with its recognition of native sovereignty in Worcester, underscoring an inherent bias that extends through contemporary reparations litigation. The Alliance of Sahelian States model sovereignty as restitution, in direct contrast to American legal impotence. The Alliance of Sahelian States are enacting sovereignty as a form of living reparations. Under Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso has expelled French military forces, ending neo-colonial security arrangements and reclaiming decision-making authority. Nationalized resource extraction, bringing uranium, gold, and other strategic resources under state control to fund public services and agrarian reforms. Formed a Pan-Sahel Mutual Defense Pact, rejecting ECOWAS directives and asserting regional security autonomy. Advanced a Pan-African currency initiative, proposing an alternative to the CFA franc to dismantle financial dependence on former colonial powers. These actions materialize the philosophical arguments of Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois, who insisted that political autonomy is the prerequisite for true liberation. Just as the Amistad captives' Mende citizenship secured their freedom, the Alliance of Sahelian States' assertion of sovereignty over land, security, and resources constitutes a practical restitution, undermining the same extractive frameworks that fueled transatlantic slavery and colonialism. From reparations to repatriation, a new Pan-African agenda. Given the U.S. legal system's entrenched impunity, Black American advocacy must pivot toward geopolitical solidarity with the Alliance of Sahelian States nations. This new agenda comprises three interlocking strategies: legal reclassification, framing descendants of trafficked Africans as stateless individuals under the 1954 UN Convention on Statelessness, thereby opening pathways for international protection and citizenship. Economic restitution via sovereign partnerships, redirecting reparations efforts toward Sahel. Debt cancellation currently totaling an estimated $3.1 billion and channeling funds into infrastructure, agrarian projects, and dual citizenship programs that strengthen Alliance of Sahelian States autonomy. Transnational political alliances, leveraging the African Union, international courts like the ICC to investigate U.S. crimes against humanity. Article 7, Rome Statute, and mobilizing diaspora-led pressure campaigns to recognize Alliance of Sahelian States-led policies. By reconceiving reparations as a collaborative project with the Alliance of Sahelian States, Black Americans can shift from pleading in courts to building sovereign power blocks that enforce restitution through economic and political leverage. Conclusion: sovereignty as the living reparation. The Alliance of Sahelian States Defiance offers a blueprint for dismantling centuries of systemic dispossession. Reparations cannot be gifted by the same structures that perpetrated crimes. They must be seized through self-determination. As Traoré proclaimed, a people who have stood up are a people who have decided to write their own history. For Black Americans, solidarity with the Alliance of Sahelian States is not merely ideological, is a pragmatic embrace of the only framework capable of delivering. The question is no longer how to plead for reparations in hostile courts, but how to construct power beyond them toward a sovereign future. On the 210th anniversary of the 1808 Act that marked the supposed end of the transatlantic slave trade, the Alliance of Sahelian States reminds us that legalized trafficking built modern America. Yet the Sahels' rising sovereignty embodies a revolutionary alternative, a global African nation transcending borders, restoring citizenship, and transforming reparations into revolution. The black agenda as reparative petitioning may be dead. Long live the sovereign agenda.
Join the Comgiverse Patreon for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, and special perks. Support the channel and connect with a community of revolutionary intellectuals and scholars. Click the link in the description to join now.